Hello, já jsem Broňa, nadšený učitel angličtiny z Brna, který pomáhá lidem zamilovat se do angličtiny. No teď vás nadšeně vítám na začátku dalšího videa a tentokrát mám pro vás připravený rozhovor se 4 báječnými americkými učiteli, kteří jsou z různých států, Spojených států, a společně si budeme povídat o americké slovní zásobě. A mimo jiné se v těch 4 rozhovorech dozvíte, jestli Američani říkají have, anebo have got, nebo jestli oboje. Jaký slovo uslyšíte jenom na Aljašce? Jaká je nejčastější chyba ve slovní zásobě, kterou my Češi děláme? Jestli je to stejný říct he said to me, anebo he told me? Co je lehký říct česky, ale opravdu těžký přeložit do angličtiny? Jak slang ovlivňuje angličtinu? Jestli existuje množné číslo od you? Co nejvíc lidi nesnáší na americké angličtině? Co vám budou lidi pořád do kolečka opakovat v Kalifornii? A co je pro studenty z celého světa na angličtině podle nich nejtěžší? Jsou to 4 rozhovory, budeme se dívat na slovní zásobu, je to celý v angličtině, mají krásnou angličtinu, takže si můžete procvičit, kolik tomu budete rozumět, věřím, že všemu. Je to fakt zajímavý rozhovor, tak doufám, že už se těšíte, já už konečně přestanu zdržovat a pojďme na to!
Hi, my name is Kellen, and I am from Fairbanks, Alaska, USA. And my 2 favorite things to do are go outside on adventures and spend time with family.
Is there anything typical for American vocabulary, something that may surprise people that study British English?
Okay, so with British English and American English, I've got and I have. I've noticed that has been a big difference with helping students with their British books, so younger children who are studying at school. Like, I got 2 potatoes. And in American English, it's I have 2 potatoes.
So you would never say different. I have got. You would just say I have only.
I have, yes. Versus I got. I have got or I got. Yeah.
Good.
So that's the one difference I saw so far.
That's a good one, thank you.
Yeah.
And okay, I have written here, my memory is not that good. And is there any typical or unique vocabulary that you use in Alaska? Something, special for you? Some kind of, I don't know, expression or greeting or...
Okay. So in Alaska, we have what is known as snow machines. In the rest of the U.S., generally people say snowmobile or sled. In Alaska, a lot of the time we say snow machine, and that's the thing that you get on and ride in the snow. Yes?
Okay, so I didn't know that. Thank you, that's new. And what's number 1 mistake connected with vocabulary that you have noticed with Czech students or, your Czech family? Maybe they use a wrong word for something or,
Okay. Say, said, tell, and told. How to use which one in which context. So, he said me, he told me, he said it to me. Yes, it is very difficult for my mother-in-law in specific. But a lot of students are like, he said me, or he learned me. He learned me this.
And about this sound, I have often this question. People ask me, do you feel any difference when I say she said to me, blah, 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 or she told me? Do you feel this? She said to me, it's kind of old-fashioned, or you just don't feel any difference?
She told me, and she said to me is like, she said is like active. Said to me isn't proper in the way that I hear it. It doesn't sound right. Yeah. She told me is like, in the past, like she told me versus she said to me, like it's happening just like kind of right now. Like she said to me, but it sounds kind of funky.
Yeah, I know, but because it's a lot in Bible actually, because when I read Bible in English, they often it's like Jesus said to them or Jesus said to his disciples. So theoretically it is possible, but it just doesn't feel right. Yes.
Yeah, the translation, there's a better way to say it. There's a better way to translate it, yes.
Okay, thank you. And is there any word that, you know, I don't know how much you know Czech, but is there any word in English you feel we don't have it in Czech, or you just can't find the right expression?
I would say a lot of the time it's harder for the opposite. So in English, it is easier to find the word than it is to find the Czech word for the English. No, sorry, the opposite. Okay, so we have a Czech word or phrase that we want to translate to English, and there's no English word for that Czech specific word.
And can you think about one? I know it's hard, but you know, it would be interesting to hear.
I think the one example I can think of is when my husband was trying to say something nice to me, to give me like a compliment, and he's like, there's such this beautiful word that I want to say to you, which describes my emotions and my feelings to you, but I can't do it in English besides just saying I love you or you are beautiful. He's just like, there's a better word in Czech for it, but I can't express it to you. It's like, oh, okay, just say it in Czech.
And if it's not too private, do you remember what he said? What was the thing?
I can't remember what he said. I can't exactly remember what it was.
Exactly. But it was something beautiful.
Yes, my name is Chelsea. I'm from Chicago in the United States, and I am a teacher. I've been teaching English and dance and art for about 10 years.
Is there anything unique or typical for American? I mean, like American English, it can be vocabulary or phrases or expressions or something?
Well, you know, we have so many words that we use in American English, I think, that are slang. I think that slang has started to even come into business English and how we talk to each other every day. I think that in British English, it seems not so common to be able to use so much slang on a daily basis or in a professional level. But it's really not shocking to be like at work and your boss is using slang or joking around with you in slang. It's a really big part of our culture, and I don't know, I think that's something I like about it, is that we are able to kind of break down these walls and not be so rigid all the time and kind of joke with each other and be a little bit more comfortable with each other. But yeah, we have a lot of slang and things that we maybe say to each other that don't sound so professional in the in a business environment. But it's a way that we keep the workplace a little bit friendlier, and that we keep our work relationships a little bit tighter, is to maybe introduce some of this language, you know?
Thank you. And how about, was it Chicago? No,
Chicago.
Chicago. Is there anything special just for the city or the area? Something you wouldn't say somewhere else, you know?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we have this thing of calling people Joe in Chicago. I don't know exactly where it came from, but you know, someone's from Chicago if they say, "What's up, Joe?"
And is it also for women as well, for men, or is it just for men?
Absolutely, yeah. Anybody can call anybody Joe in Chicago. I don't really know where that even came from. We also say, instead of saying "I'm looking for a parking spot," we just stop it at park. Like, I'm looking for a park. I don't know why, but that is a very Chicago thing. And we also have this thing of when we get really angry, of telling people where we're from, because we're a very tough city. So it crosses every neighborhood, every race, every culture in Chicago. If you get really pissed off, you're like, "Hey, I'm from Chicago," and I don't know why we do that. I guess because we know we have a tough reputation. So you need to recognize that you're not just talking to anybody, you're talking to somebody from Chicago.
Oh, thank you. I had no idea, so I feel a bit more intelligent again. Thanks a lot. And is there any kind of like common mistake that Czech students do? Maybe a word that we use in a different way, or something we mix, or is there any like a repeated problem as far as vocabulary is concerned?
As far as vocabulary is concerned, I can't really think of too many things that Czech students do that other speakers do not do. You know, prepositions is always something that's difficult for everyone. Am I going in the bank or to the bank or on the bank? Or am I going to your party or in your party? Was I in the club? Was I out on the club? You know, those things are across the board.
My name is Hector. I am from the United States. I was born in the state of Oregon, but I grew up in the state of Georgia, specifically in the city of Atlanta. My hobbies are taking things apart to see how they work and all of the artistic endeavors such as painting and drawing and photography and things of that nature.
Would you say there is anything unique or special or, you know, distinct about American words or the way, or maybe some phrases that you use?
Okay, so something that's typical in the South where I grew up, in the South of the United States, is that you have probably learned that there is no plural form of you, right? However, where I'm from, we do have a plural form, and it's y'all.
What's the spelling of that?
It's Y''ALL. It's supposed to be you all, but we take it as a plural of you. We say y'all.
Oh, I didn't know
so
that.
If there was three of you, for example, right? I would say, hey, so what are y'all doing? Instead of what are you doing?
Oh, thank you. So that's great. I didn't know that. Thank you. That's interesting. And would you also write it, or would you just say? Is it also for written English?
Yeah, but it's not correct. It's very similar to ain't. Have you heard of ain't before?
Yeah.
Yes, it's similar to that. It's an incorrect expression, but we take it as something that is, you know, part of our daily lexicon.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I typically ask about Czech students, but it can be general your students. Is there any mistake that your students typically make as far as vocabulary is concerned? Maybe, I don't know, mixing some words or using something inappropriate or...
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's the thing of the false friends, right? And there's a couple of, you know, funny stories about it, specifically with Spanish speakers. In my case, because I'm bilingual, I understand kind of the difference there, and I see the difference vice versa, right? But we have different words that don't exactly go together, or they're not the same. And there's some really embarrassing ones, but there's some that are just more common. And one of them is for talking about the preservatives, the chemicals that we put in food in order to preserve it, right? So in English, we call it preservatives, but in Spanish, it's called conservativos.
Yeah, it's the same in Czech. Yeah, we have the same thing. So yeah, the
preservative
would be the condom.
There's this kind of disconnect that happens with it, and I'm always having to correct that particular one.
Yeah, and is it the same in Spanish? Because if you say preservative, in Czech language, it means condom. So yes. It's the same. So when you read what is in your soup, for example, exactly and you're like, oh. Yeah. And I don't actually know if it's true, but I mean, is there any word that you feel it's just in English and all the translation are just not exactly, you know, expressing the thing? For example, something you can't say in Spanish, what you can say in English.
That's a hard one, and usually when I come across it, I see it, but I couldn't tell you right this moment, actually.
Of course, my name is Rolanda, and I am from beautiful, sunny Los Angeles, but now I live in beautiful, sunny Madrid, Spain, and I've been here for 6 years, but I'm a Californian at heart.
Beautiful.
Okay.
My first question is there anything unique or typical about American vocabulary or phrases? First, let's look at the USA in general.
One of the things that people hate the most about American vocabulary is the phrasal verbs, the idioms and the phrasal verbs. Those have to be the two things that I get the most comments about, the most complaints. They hate. And another thing is that we tend to take any word and make it a verb. Just Google it. Google is not a verb. Google is a noun. right? But we can take any word and just make it a verb.
Oh,
I don't know. So
you.
That's one of the good things about that.
And connected question, is there any typical phrase or something that people, from your state, from California, let's say, would say that it's not generally, I don't know.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there is. People tend to say dude. Dude. Dude, come on, really? Like, and they use like a lot. Like.
And about dude, because maybe people watch this now and they're not sure what it means. So would you say, can you define it somehow for us? And is it polite or impolite?
It's not impolite. It's more friendly. It's when you want to express to someone, dude is like another name for a guy, a man. But when you want to express like, dude, can you believe that? Like if you're emphasizing something, you say, dude. It's very, very, very California.
Okay, thank you. And again, I don't know how many Czech students you have had, but can you think about any typical mistake, or maybe generally from your students, a word that people use in a wrong way, or something with vocabulary that is problematic?
That, yes. I would have to say prepositions. Prepositions for not just Czech students, but most of my students, maybe all of them. We have so many prepositions in English: on, in, at, over, through. So we have all these prepositions, and knowing which one to use at the right time is very confusing for a lot of students. I try to tell them that eventually it will start to sound correct or incorrect. But it takes practice. It does take practice.
Thank you.
Tak, to byly naše 4 rozhovory. Jako vždycky by mě opravdu moc zajímalo, jak moc jste rozuměli. Jestli ta angličtina je pro vás v pohodě nebo ne. Jestli jste rozuměli, tak moc gratuluju. Jestli ne, tak si z toho nic nedělejte. Už to, že jste to trénovali, je úplně super. Takže mě zajímalo moc, jak jste rozuměli. A jestli vás v tom rozhovoru něco překvapilo. Mě to překvapilo docela dost, ale nebudu nic prozrazovat, bych vás neovlivnil. Velmi mě zajímá, co překvapilo vás. Kdybyste si chtěli s někým z těchto 4 nebo s někým jiným z těch rodilých mluvčí zavolat, tak dolů hodím zase odkaz. Tam máte zadarmo, pokud to děláte poprvé, myslím, 2 hovory na Blabu, takže nejjednodušší, co můžete udělat, je zaregistrovat se a zavolat některýmu z těchto fajn Američanů nebo klidně komukoliv jinému. Je to hrozně jednoduchý a je to fajn. A pokud vám to video přišlo užitečně zajímavý, tak se určitě můžete přihlásit k odběru a tím mi udělat radost a sobě vylepšit angličtinu. Ale hlavně, don't forget to stay awesome and dream big. Bye bye.